Tommy Nation Politics.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today?
Fact of the matter is, I beat Bernie Sanders. Not by much. I beat him a whole hell of a lot.
Richard. Hey, how are you? What's going on? Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics, here with special contributor Richard Powski. We are kind of doing some post-debate talk here. Something that caught my eye was Rising, of course, one of the greatest progressive news media platforms, with Crystal Ball and Sagar and Jetty. We're going to dive into this. So here's a clip real quick, then we'll comment.
There was one area in which Donald Trump and Joe Biden were completely unified. That was in hippie punching the left. There were a few moments of true clarity from Joe Biden within this debate, but the one area where he really was totally crystal clear was on how much contempt he has for and how much he disagrees with the left of the party and how proud he is to have crushed and defeated them in the primary. Let's take a listen.
The fact of the matter is, I beat Bernie Sanders. Not by much. I beat him a whole hell of a lot. I'm here standing facing you already.
Pocahontas would have left 2 days early. You would have lost every primary. Your party doesn't say. Your party wants to go socialist medicine.
My party is
and
me.
Socialist
right
healthcare.
now, I am
and
the
they're going to
Democratic
dominate
Party.
you, Joe. You know that.
I am the Democratic Party right now. The platform of the Democratic Party is what I, in fact, approved of.
And by the way, he made a couple of statements. The Green New Deal is $100 trillion.
That is not my plan.
That's
the Green
you want to
New
rebuild
Deal
every
is not
building.
my plan.
So he's opposed to the Green New Deal, of course opposed for Medicare for all, opposed to the left's position on policing and criminal justice. Didn't give a whole lot to progressives who are looking for a reason to be excited about voting for Joe Biden. Of course, no one should expect any differently. This is the man who, for decades, has basically made his career on showing how moderate he is, showing how incredibly centrist he is, showing how reasonable he is by punching left. He is the Democratic Party. He's exactly right about that. And anyone who was harboring any illusions that he was going to be FDR and the most progressive president since then, all of this nonsense, should have that completely disabused as of last night.
So, I am the Democratic Party. Joe Biden. I mean, rewatching the debate and going through, other people's opinions and perspectives, not only does it reaffirm to me that this was the Republican primary that I thought and knew it would be, but also the lack of the lack of things we ask for a political class, the lack of respect we ask from our political class, the lack of we need them to have clean air, clean water. All of this seems like a philosophical discussion. If you guys think this is a philosophical discussion, you need to look more at politics, people. This is not. This is actual clean air, actual clean water. That's what the Green New Deal is.
The sad part is that he was so right-wing on that stage, as well as many other things, but we won't go into that right now. He was so right-wing on that stage, and left-wing people who voted for Bernie in the primaries and supported Bernie to no end are actually going to cast their votes for him, which only shows that they will take that abuse and keep voting blue no matter who, and that the Democratic Party will remain way too conservative and never make concessions to the left. Okay, if left-wing people keep casting their votes for people like Joe Biden, nothing will ever change, and that's what makes my blood boil.
Agree. Also, now, it's funny how Bernie is always talking about how we are going to be pushing Joe Biden to the left. Anytime you even try to push Joe Biden to the left, do you know how much flack you get? Like, I thought that's what we were doing. Every time I try to mention the crime bill, every time I try to mention the fact that he's got corruption going from China to Ukraine to every single foreign entity, President Xi Jinping of China, I mean, this guy has got 37 years of corruption. And every time you try to bring up his past or push him to a Green New Deal, all you get is you're not a team player, Trump's going to win. Are you a Trump
Yeah,
card?
very hard. You know, what you just said was softball compared to the thing I've gotten for simply pointing out the awfulness of Joe Biden's Senate career, how when it came to all the pivotal issues in his 37-year Senate career, he was on the wrong side of every one. And I actually recently wrote an article about we need to show America who the real Joe Biden is, because the media, they ignore his record out of existence. They ignore the crime bill out of existence. And I basically, in my article, I pointed out the crime bill and the millions of people that it disenfranchised and locked up and threw away like they were garbage. And I explicitly said, no matter who people might have their feelings hurt by my article, but no one's feelings have been hurt more than the millions of Black, Latino, and poor people who were unjustly put in prison for nonviolent crimes.
Now, Richard, my only fear is, and you're right, the mainstream media is not showing or reflecting Joe Biden's true record, but my only fear is with the bandwagon mentality and the just utter, I don't even know what to call it, apathy of political discourse. Because even Republicans see what's going on. They saw it in the primary when the coalescing happened and everybody dropped out. Everybody's calling Trump a liar. He was telling more truth on that stage than anyone. He was talking about how they all dropped out, how Elizabeth Warren stayed in for 2 days to take all the delegates. Every single thing Trump said was true. The judges, okay? So my worry is that people do know what they're doing, and they're just being incredibly dumb on purpose. They're being dumb on purpose.
I don't think the vast body of people in America are being dumb on purpose. I think the reason why people are dumb was created on purpose, because it's no coincidence that since the 70s, the IQs of American people, they have been dropping steadily. They've been on a steady decline since the 1970s. And, the fact that you have to spoon feed, here, when you have a media that can tell people what to laugh at, what to be mad at, what to hate, what to love, and what to fear, then the establishment has won the battle at that point. When you have people who are actually getting passionate about a face mask, a fucking piece of cloth, we need to take a step back for a minute. And when you see people arguing about face masks, the conservatives saying, "Oh, face masks are horrible," and the left-wing people, swearing by the face mask like it's now their new god, it's their symbol of their leftism. You have to understand that you realize the media is making you argue about cloth. Do you get it? And that's what they do. The media tells you exactly what to be mad at. And the fact that I pointed this out several times, and no one understands that when I point it out, I say, let's take a step back. Do you realize we're talking about a piece of fucking cloth? That's how much power the media has over us, that they're getting you guys to argue over cloth. And people are so far gone in how much they've been brainwashed that they don't get it when I tell them that. It can't go through their heads. So I don't think it's on purpose. And I do think it's on purpose. I don't think the people are choosing to be dumb on purpose. I think it happened to them by the establishment on purpose.
We should be arguing our own interests and for our planet, for our communities, and for our children. And we should not be arguing for us too. Republicans, Democrats. I'm going to let Sagar and Jetty close this segment, and then we'll talk more, okay?
Trump was more willing to defend white supremacists than Biden was to defend Medicare for all.
Well, I thought it was pretty funny to me, which is that Biden is willing to go out there and say all this because the left is basically caved to him. I mean, he doesn't care, right? Bernie Sanders is out there openly flacking for his vote, and on primetime television, it's what I assume was like 90 million Americans, Biden's like, I beat Bernie Sanders. He's like, I don't care about the Green New Deal. I don't care about Medicare for all. And Bernie's still going to vote for him. Not just that, he's going to grovel at his feet and do videos and campaign for him. That's what happens. That's what he said here from the very beginning. If you make it so that there's no electoral cost or political cost in order for going against you and punching you in the face, then you're going to get disavowed on national national television. Sorry.
If you make it so there's no political cost and you ask nothing of your political class, what you get is nothing. What you get is nothing. Do you have anything to add to that, Richard?
Absolutely. You get a bad deal. You know, if you don't negotiate for yourself, you don't advocate for yourself, you get a bad deal. And there's so many aspects of life where that applies.
Right. Oh, so many aspects. But right now, we've actually we've argued so little for our own communities, our own children, and our own country and planet that this is what it has devolved into. It has devolved into Trump and Biden.
Right.
We're going to get it even worse.
You know what? I really do feel like we are so deep in this, and that the establishment has won this battle. Bringing it back to what I said, they're the puppet masters, and we're controlled by their strings. You know, and the people who are smart enough to, you know, I don't know, Google things, read, realize things, and you know, have the capability of, objective thought. Unfortunately, understanding it is of no power. You know, unfortunately, you just suffer in silence. But we as the American people and the left have totally lost our ability to negotiate for ourselves. And, you know, I think that applies to everyday life when, in the working class especially, you have these people who, you know, I know the conservatives love to say that everyone who works at McDonald's is a teenager. It's not true. You got mothers, fathers, you know, undocumented people working at these McDonald's, and they all make $8 an hour. And if they just had the ability to negotiate as a collective unit, you know, if we had one day, you know, where the labor is organized like they did back in the early 1900s, where they fought for unions, if we had that ability, that, you know, the ability to stand up and organize and fight for ourselves, negotiate.
The Republicans in Texas have eliminated that ability with their right to work laws in Texas. You can't.
Right to work laws are travesty too.
So, yeah, I agree with you. And I mean, if we can't turn it around now, we're gonna get an even worse Trump later. And it's not gonna be a vacuum salesman who can't put sentences together. It's gonna be a sociopathic narcissist, megalomaniac like Hillary Clinton, who's gonna know what he's doing, and he's gonna be successful at it. Not like this bumbling vacuum salesman, real estate guy, slumlord. It's going to be worse.
Well, I think that the left will fall asleep when Joe Biden is president. They will go to sleep, and behind the curtains, America will continue to crumble. And I feel like they got there years ago, but it's just a cherry on top now, because we are so divided that we can't agree on anything. God forbid a national tragedy happened. Well, we had COVID-19. Back 20 years ago, when a national tragedy happened, we united as Americans, even if it was just for like a month or two, or maybe a year. But now, 200,000 Americans are dead. We can't even unify based off that, because these, the establishment has made it so we're arguing. They have pitted us against each other so we don't rise up against them. And you know what? I don't see that changing anytime soon. Definitely not in my lifetime, and maybe not even ever.
And that's why there's Tommy Nation Politics. Thank you, Richard Powski. We'll talk later. Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today?